All right, welcome to the 6th episode of Dynasty Sports. Today we're sitting down with the head coach, Tuttle High School. You want to talk about Dynasty Sports. Tuttle's won, I said, the coaches, the last 16 state championships. They've won the last 15 dual state championships. And in my opinion, which is a humble opinion, it's the greatest wrestling power in the state at this point in time. So let's please welcome Coach Bobby Williams, the head coach of Tuttle High School.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Kind of something we do. You hear the crowd going crazy right now. The crowd, it does that when we get to introduce coaches. And
nice.
Tuttle's here in Broken Arrow today, wrestling a quad with Westmore, Allen, Texas, themselves, and Broken Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
And so we had an opportunity to sit down with him this morning and kind of hash out the season. This is a tough little get together.
Yeah, and so traditionally it's been us, Broken Arrow, and Allen. We got away from it for a little bit, and then we're trying to keep it going, trying to make this.
Was you in high school when we had it here?
No. That would have been a little bit after me, actually. I don't know when they first started doing it. I don't have a date on that one, but
I think it was Coach Serber, and we had one night we brought in. You guys were all going to the Union tournament.
Yeah. I think at the time it was that when Union was hosting Mid-America, correct?
The Union was hosting Mid-America, and the likes of a Bo Nickel and stuff like that were on the team. So is it about your age?
Yeah, that's they're a little bit younger than me.
Oh, they're younger than you.
Yep.
Okay. Well, looking at this duel and this quad thing today, this is just what we kind of get into and what we talk about. But a little bit before you, Tuttle High School 3-time state champ.
Yeah.
For Coach Serber?
Yeah, it was kind of a cool story. Serb took over my sophomore year, and I got the opportunity to actually be his first state champion.
So you started with Henny?
Yeah, Henny was my coach through junior high, and then my freshman year.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was Serber's time he stepped in.
Yeah, Serber came in 2006 as an assistant, and then the following year, 2007, took over.
Well, Henny, Serber, and you're looking at this. Have you been a Tuttle boy your whole life?
Yeah, I grew up in Tuttle.
Grew up in Tuttle, Oklahoma. I was trying to explain to Anth, Tuttle, Oklahoma. I said, "Do you know where Tuttle is?" And he was like, "No, I really don't."
Man, there's really, there's one stoplight and just
I had to bring the Brahms
places.
up.
Yeah, we don't have a Brahms, but we're home with Brahms.
Home of Brahms, they don't have a Brahms. So everybody, whether they know it or not, loves Tuttle, Oklahoma. So you wrestled in Tuttle your whole life.
Actually, didn't start till 7th grade.
Oh, you didn't start till 7th grade?
Yep. Kind of. I wrestled for 2 weeks in Little League and cried and stopped doing it.
Really?
And then started back in 7th grade.
Man, there's something about that starting back in the 7th grade thing. If you come back, and who was your coach?
We had Coach Henning.
So you were taught completely 100% correctly how to wrestle. You didn't get any of the bad habits of being an elementary kid and trying to throw people with the no-arm headlocks.
It's always good to have those little tricks, though. I didn't have very many tricks.
It's always good to have those tricks, but I tell you, man, I just, through my coaching career, noticed that the kids that started later with the proper instruction were easier to coach and not break bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know exactly what I mean.
You see some of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so then you go to the University of Oklahoma after you win your 3 state championships, and was there a year and a half, and then you transferred to Ouachita Baptist. And your coach was?
Kevin Ward.
Kevin Ward. Where's Kevin at now?
Kevin's at Army West Point.
And doing well.
Yeah. They had their first All-American last year, and you just got things going on there, man. Like, just got it rolling. That's
hard. You're not only trying to recruit the best wrestler, but it's got to be academic. It's got to be. Yeah. You've got to be appointed. You've got to be. It's hard to get that caliber of person there, but it looks like Navy and Army right now are doing that. Yeah. Getting some great kids in there.
For sure.
So you go to Ouachita. How'd your career go there?
It was good. I really enjoyed my time at Ouachita Baptist. Was a couple-time All-American there. Made semis once. It was a lot of fun.
That's
I had great teammates. Yeah.
D2. That's UCO's.
Yep.
The biggest yeah.
And so we wrestled him quite a bit. You know, he wrestled Missouri, Oklahoma schools. being
I
out of
saw
Arkansas.
I saw a Flow Wrestling 30-second thing, and you're at Stillwater High School. Had to be an all-star match, wrestling a kid.
That was that was USA versus Oklahoma, the Dream Team match.
Okay.
And so I was on Team Oklahoma. You know, it's the only time a team has beaten Team USA.
I remember that. Now that
So-
you mentioned that.
Yep, that was a lot of fun. Good experience there.
Man, all right. So when I heard, and it had to be the same for Serber, you know, kind of a general rule, you don't follow legends because it's hard to, and Serber did that because Henning won tons of state championships. And the Serber steps into the spotlight and does his thing. Were you the heir apparent? I mean,
Man, really, the transition of everything, it wasn't planned out. You know, there wasn't ever a conversation where, you know, who's going to be next or anything like that. You know, Serb was happy with what he was doing, and you know, we'd have conversations every once in a while because somebody would like, hey, you know, if you ever get tired of Tuttle, you can come over here. You know, and so I was happy with being assistant to Coach Serber, and we were just rolling, man. It was a lot of fun.
is that where you started as an assistant to Coach Serber, or were you anywhere else? You you came straight home.
I did 1 year of grad assistant at Ouachita Baptist, and my girlfriend, now wife, at the time was out there with me, and she's like, we're not staying in Arkansas. I said, okay, let's go back. So she's from Bridge Creek right down the road, and so we moved back home. I had a couple odd-end jobs, and then Serb got me a job at Tuttle.
As he should have. I wish he was broken out and got you a job. So it's just such a tough task because, I mean, he steps down, and this is your what, your third, fourth?
Man, this is fourth or fifth. I took over during COVID.
Okay, so this might be your fifth.
Yep.
And
It's all
it's
starts
about the time that
rolling
Luke went to OSU, correct?
Yeah, so that was one of the big deals about it, is that it wasn't just Luke. You know, Luke was already wrestling in college when Serb was still around, but it's when Maddie, his daughter, got into college as well, and it just made sense for Serb to, you know, take the role as our principal. There's a principal opening. He's my boss now. He's still around.
He's always
so,
been, he's kind of always been your boss.
Yeah. And then so it made a lot of sense for him to be able to go travel, watch Luke, watch Maddie run.
She's a trackster at OSU, correct?
Yep.
A stud.
Yeah, she's, you know, I think she was a national champ in hurdles in high school, and then now, man, she runs a bunch of events. Don't get me lying on them. So, but she's a stud.
Yeah, I knew that, and they're a year apart.
Yes, a couple years actually.
I'm gonna tell you, Luke's surging right now.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun watching him last night.
How'd you watch it?
It was on Flow.
I was on Flow.
Yep, and so he went a little airborne there for a little bit.
Well, he's been exciting. Was that him that did the complete flip?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I watched the highlight of that.
Yep. He's just gritty, man.
I've watched him, you know, Gary, from his freshman year to now, and he's finally came into his own without injury.
Yeah, I say he's healthy.
He's healthy.
That's the big thing.
And, I mean, he was whipping, as a freshman at the Gary tournament, he was whipping Blair kids. He was whipping, I mean, he was just always that solid guy. And it's just so nice because I don't care what stripes you wear. If you're an OU, OSU, whatever, if you're an Oklahoma boy, we're pulling for him. And right now,
100%.
you know, OSU has got a lot of Oklahoma boys on it, and OU has none, with the exception of Piccolo.
Yeah,
they've got one.
Yeah, Tate.
And that guy needs to do a better job of recruiting our Oklahoma kids at Oklahoma University. So that was a political statement. Here we are, Broken Arrow High School today.
Yeah.
This is mid-January. It's past mid-January. This is what, the 25th?
We're near the end. We're near the end, man.
And you've got Westmore, which is...
They're tough, man. We wrestled them last night, actually. And so...
you wrestled Westmore last night?
Yep. So that was kind of how we got this whole thing rolling, to get Westmore into this.
Was there somebody that dropped out?
We're supposed to, it was kind of a strange little deal. I don't know the full story. I haven't talked to Rodney yet. We had another team coming, and they just kind of ghosted him. And so, and then I had someone drop me on a Friday night duel, and I needed somebody. And so we kind of used this to get Westmore to come up here and drop a tournament. But I needed to wrestle them on Friday night because we had our alumni night last night. And, you know, it was a 34-34 duel on criteria.
Oh, it was.
And so it ended up being 35 us and 34 them.
So you guys the last duel, and you're not going to wrestle each other today? You're just going to go
we're
home?
12-2 today, and we're out. And so, but they're tough, man. They got a solid kid about every weight.
Will's doing a great job, and I'm sure we got to mention he's got some fans helping him also, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
as well as you do.
Yep, I got Chris, the oldest boy, with me as my assistant, and then they have Dustin as one of their assistants. And so
The Finn wrestling family, Dad was Coach Westmore forever, and he had 22 boys. What is there, 5?
Man, you're gonna be lying because I'm going through names, but no, it's of course they're a Hall of Fame family.
Hall of Fame
just
family.
recently was that 2 years ago?
Yes.
They're inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame family, and just, I mean, every one of them were tough. Every one of them were great wrestlers, and it's always a good day when you graduate all 20 of the Finns from Westmore High School, and you're a 6A wrestling coach. So, how the Tigers looking? What you guys are in January? So let's go back to it. You're in January. It's the 25th.
Yeah.
Man, January is the month that you get ready for February.
100%.
And that's why you're here, is you're wrestling down in Texas, in Broken Arrow. And all 4 teams that are in this are just top of the heap when it comes to the wrestling world. What you got today? Then you've got what left before you get to February?
We go from today, and then we have our duel against Mustang on Thursday, and then we go up to Blackwell.
How's Mustang anymore?
They got some dudes, and so it'll be a fun duel. Then we go to Blackwell, which is going to be a fun one. Going up to Blackwell at their
You guys
house.
probably
and
have a fist fight. You guys have always had a fist fight with Blackwell.
Yeah.
I mean, of recent, really, for sure.
Yeah. I want to say it was last year was the first time we wrestled each other in quite a few years, actually. And then now, we kind of follow each other around a little bit. They come to our preseason tournament. We both went out to the Florida Knockout this year. They came to our tournament.
Well, how was it? What is the Florida Knockout?
Florida Knockout's really fun, man. It's kind of like a, Southern national tournament down there where you have, there's a lot of good teams, and it is a big tournament. Some nationally ranked teams in there, and we took second out there. We lost to Camden County, which I believe is like number 23 right now, out of Georgia. And so
out of Georgia, which is weird to say.
Well, that compound wrestling's there,
right?
And so they're doing a good job. And so it's a really fun tournament. It's nice to go somewhere in December where it's 75, and
it is.
It's in Kissimmee, and so we went to Disney Springs, walked around, and it was good for the kids. It's fun to get out. They remember the trip more than anything. But
it is good to get out. It's good to get to wrestle other people.
Yeah.
You're not just pounding the rock with our normal Gary and foes like that. And now Blackwell is 2A, right?
They're 3A.
3A.
Yeah.
You're
3A.
okay. They're out of your.
Yep.
And then, man, you get past. I mean, the month of January is over.
Yeah.
Next week, and for the life of me, if you're not in it, this thing goes so fast.
It does.
It goes so fast, and I know it goes fast for you guys because you're not even really paying attention to time. You're looking for dates and how you're going to get to the next one with your kids. But how you feel about February?
Man, we're excited for it. Like you said, this kind of end part of January, we have a really tough end of our schedule. Then we come back and wrestle Marlowe. And so, we're going to be battle tested, and you like to see where your guys are at and put them in some high pressure moments and, see how they react. And, last night we had a duel on criteria. That was a good win as a team. And so it really kind of the momentum flowing into February for dual state and regionals and state. Our guys, we tell them hey, very, very few people wrestle a schedule like we do. And so you got to take that into account. We've rolled up to regionals with kids that are, the best story is probably Cody Apson, like a 10-15 record, and we're a state placer. We're making it to finals. Those 15 guys you lost to, buddy, a lot of those guys had numbers next to their names. And so
that's right.
Take that into account. And so
that's right.
You see a lot of our guys like that, the 5 losses or 6 losses. You don't want any of them to lose, but it's the competition that we wrestle. We always say it's very difficult to go undefeated on our schedule. and it's designed for that way.
That was something
Yeah.
I never had one single undefeated wrestler here.
I've only had one. I've only had one in my tenure.
I think Reese Whitcraft could have been undefeated, but he chose to go to Chicago over Christmas break. His dad made him go to Chicago to some family, and he missed all our Christmas break.
Gotcha.
Said he worked out up there. And then he comes back, and Gary's their first tournament.
Yeah.
And he has a Blair kid now that's starting for Penn State.
Shane Van Ness, was he there?
It was Van Ness.
Yeah.
Van Ness beat him.
Yeah, I remember that match.
Yeah, Shane Van Ness beat him. And he had already beat another Blair kid that went to
It was actually at the time.
that same year at the Ironman final.
Van Ness was actually the backup.
He was.
And then got the starting position.
He superseded
there.
who?
I do.
But that
not
kid was
remember.
tough also.
Yeah.
He was in the finals of the
Yeah.
Ironman, and that's where Reese beat him. And that was the closest we ever got because we like to be in harm's way.
Yeah.
If you're undefeated and you've had a clutch schedule, how are you preparing for this end of January, start of February? And I know the Tuttle Tigers. You guys have been. We've always enjoyed because we knew you were going to be coached. We knew that they were going to be tough, hard-nosed kids, and we didn't get to see you guys as much as we would like. We saw you guys every year at Gary.
Yeah.
And that Gary tournament. In my last couple of years, Blair was coming there.
Yeah, that's whenever we were really, really good those years too. Like we had Dustin, we had Luke, we had Ryder. Yeah, we had a really good team, and a lot of people don't know this. We've never won Gary. Tuttle never has, and so
Really?
we've came in second a handful of times, and then when we had a
tough tournament
team
to
that
win.
was in the spot to do it, Blair shows up.
That's right. That's right. And those
So-
tough Tuttle teams, we were right there. I think we were third, and we were winning state championships. You guys were winning state championships.
Yeah.
And it would have been, like I said, Tuttle's always been right there.
Yeah.
Let's kind of, and I'm going to ask you that last question when we get to the back end of this, but it's it's the cycle, and I know it's hard for you to look forward, but what's a Tuttle spring look like? Rest season's over.
Yeah, and so we go a couple weeks off, and then we start back with freestyle, and so right away go into that a couple times a week. Going to local tournaments, and then we'll go to Southern Plains, kind of chase down some of that stuff, and then we have some kids that get on dual teams in Fargo. Really hooked up for about 11 months out of the year. Is what we are.
Are you guys involved in the dual team thing? The dual team thing is going to change this year. We've all been kind of spoiled. It's been right here in Tulsa.
Yeah, it's going to Wisconsin.
It's going to Wisconsin, and of course Fargo is in North Dakota. But are you guys involved in that? Are you guys on the staff?
My assistant coach Riley Williams has been on staff. I've done it before. I have young kids now, so it's kind of hard to get away. I'm already away a lot right now, and I enjoy being married. So being away again for the whole summer is really tough. So as they get older, and I'll dive back into that.
Well, you got how many? Well, you got two?
Yeah, I got a 5-year-old girl and a 19-month-old son.
There you go.
So
I've got 3 daughters.
Yeah.
Rodney's got 2 daughters. My brother Biff has 3 daughters, and then the boy that's wrestling quarterback going to UCO is a twin. So we had to have in the family. We had to have a twin.
To have a boy.
To have a boy. And so good for you, man.
Yeah.
And what I notice about wrestling coaches is this, Coach, is for instance, let's just do Chickasha right now.
Yeah.
Chickasha's always been tough. Chad's always did a really good job. But he's got some skin in it now.
Yep. You see that across the board whenever a coach's son comes through and the group around that kid.
Right.
Yeah, that's across the board. When you look at teams and, you recognize, like, oh, that's his son. You saw Marlowe, you see Chickasha, Patterson's group, whenever Cushing had a great group. Choctaw,
Benny Coleman's kids.
Say, you can go keep
we
going.
can keep Peony's kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep going because those guys are, Tulsa Webster, when I was there, my dad was our coach, and he'd go straight from the high school practice to the elementary practice, and he was coaching the elementary practices also as well. And it's a big deal because you've got professionals leading and conducting those practices, and so good for you. That means that you're going to be in this a long time.
I got I got 18 more years.
You got at least 18 more years,
18
and
more
then
years.
you can become the principal, and you can go follow your boy.
Yeah. Got a little while before any of that.
Yeah, it's a long ways, 18 years, but it goes by fast.
Yeah.
It goes by really fast. So springtime, you're doing, and that freestyle season to me is imminent. Do you guys do that in the school period, or do you come back at night?
We come back in the evening, one night a week, and then we do one right after school because after spring break, we don't have school on Fridays anymore. And so, after our fourth period on Thursday, we go right after school. It works out really well. So
Are you loading kids up in a bus on Saturday morning and going to the freestyle tournaments? Are they meeting?
We've done it before. We've done it several different ways. Kids are driving, or we're loading up a bus.
Right.
Whatever we have to do.
Provide whatever way to get the transportation there.
So especially when we go like the qualifier and stuff, we, hotel room, all the stuff because you have to.
Right. And usually the qualifiers at Union High School.
Yeah.
Here of late, it's been that way for quite some time, I guess. So there's your freestyle season, and what people don't understand is there are kids that qualify for dual teams. There's kids that qualify for Fargo, and they're on a path. They're on a pattern. There's practices that are set up for them. I don't know where your area. I think BA is the area for the East.
Ours is in Edmond at UCO. Our regional training site.
It's at UCO.
Yeah, it's at UCO.
Good for Todd. That's smart. That's very smart.
Yeah.
And so those kids, but the kids that aren't on those teams, what does the summer look like for you guys?
CNC Tile and Carpet. Tulsa's flooring experts for over 60 years. From timeless hardwoods to plush carpets, they've got the perfect flooring to handle pets, kids, and everything life throws your way. Go see their showroom floor at 13th and Harvard and say hello to Lil Vernon, or visit their website, cctileandcarpet.com.
And, of course, we have our team camp. We run our own camp.
Now, you guys go to Nebraska every year, don't you?
No, we switch it up. And so we went to Nebraska last year, went to Missouri the year before that, went to Oklahoma State. We've actually been to Penn State. We've been all over. Went out to Granby camp.
You went to Penn State?
Yeah,
wow.
That was a fun one. And then this year we're looking into going up to West Point. And so.
And you guys are taking a full team, and basically you're going there. I got to go to OSU's team camp once with a team here, and you're going up, and how many duels is that, and the amount of time that you're
it's
there?
a lot.
It's a lot. You guys wrestle the whole freaking time. Yeah. I mean, and it's
those are good deals because you get to kind of look at what your team potentially is going to look like the next year, because it's the opportunity to have everybody in the same building, and of course weights are all over the place, but you get a glimpse of what the future looks like there. You always have an idea of what next year's lineup looks like, but
you're always thinking about it. You're always thinking about calculating.
Yeah, and then you got a kid that grows 5 inches or whatever, and you're like, all right, that just kind of messed some things up.
100%. But if you got a good kid that was small and that grows big, now you're really in a good situation because those kids wrestle at pretty high levels. Do you take any time off during the summer?
We do. It feels like we're wrestling every day, but it's not. At least that's what my wife says. We're always wrestling. I'm like, no, we got some time off. Really, after Fargo's over, we kind of leave them alone. We take the month of August.
That's the end of July.
Yeah, but we take the whole month of August off. We're lifting still when we get back in school, but we're not on the mat unless they just want to be. I try not to, get out there or anything like that. It's kind of on your own, and so they're kind of on their own time on August, and then we're still lifting really until after fall break is when we get on the mat.
So when you guys come back to school, because that's another part of the cycle to me, is you get organized, you've got your group that is in period wrestling, and you guys are just pounding the rock. You guys are just lifting.
Yeah, lifting and running.
Trying to lift and run, staying out of the room, because you're in the room long enough.
Yeah, we're going to be there for a while.
Going to be there in the while. Do you start? So October 1st, you just said it, but October 1st is the first legal day that you can go past period. And you guys don't, you wait till after fall break to go.
Yeah, we have a block schedule, so we get our guys at 1:30.
So you won, 4? On a 4-period block?
Yep.
Not an AB, just straight?
Nope. Straight block. And so,
I love block scheduling.
Yep, it's great. Allows me, in the mornings, I'm with my junior high guys, and then go teach 2 classes, and then I have 4th period wrestling.
What do you teach?
Teach government, and then it's called capstone. It's more financial literacy, and then I've taught world history. It's kind of whatever they throw
like
at
teaching?
me. But yeah. I enjoy government. I have seniors, and so that's a lot of fun.
Well, you've got a good community. So
Yeah.
the seniors in your community are probably.
And usually by then you only have about 13 of them in the class, and so you know it's fun because you get to meet those kids you usually wouldn't get an opportunity to be around because
Right.
like a lot of them aren't in athletics. So meeting new faces, and you know it's always cool because you know when I see them outside of graduation, I know who they are instead of them just say, hey, what's
Where
up?
you guys graduated here?
Right now, I think we're up to like 160.
Wow.
You know, when I graduated from Tuttle in 2009, we had 98 kids.
So it's
And
growing.
So it's growing. You know, it's not growing as fast as we thought it would, but it is.
What is the attraction there? There are places of employment in Tuttle,
Yeah.
Oklahoma for people to move. And I'm sure that's how you get your biggest
Yeah,
move.
we're a betting community, so we're only 30 minutes outside the city. So that
How
really,
far are you off 44? I was trying to.
Man, we're like 20 minutes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what I
not.
thought.
It's an easy. Like we're 30 minutes from Norman, 30 minutes from the city. So our location, you know, you're 15 minutes from
It's nice.
Mustang,
Yeah.
20 minutes from Yukon.
Well, you go back Chickasha.
Yeah.
Chickasha's what from you?
Oh, they're 30 minutes away. 20.
So
maybe.
everything
Yeah,
is
yeah.
everything is just.
Yeah, you're gonna drive 20, 30 minutes anywhere you go from Tuttle.
That's still
Yeah.
not. I mean, that's not bad.
No,
You
no,
know, people
not at all.
think that Tuttle's way out there, and I made a couple of those freestyle trips back in the day to
Yeah.
Tuttle, and I think the early morning might have made what was tough, but it's not bad. I mean, it's just right down the road
Yeah.
on 44 once you get there, and it's a beautiful place.
It's quiet.
It's quiet, and it's got some hell of wrestling, man.
Yeah,
It's got some great
yeah.
wrestling.
You know, we've got a good group of kids, man. Like so, you know.
So that's my question: is how do you guys consider? There's got to be a formula you guys have, because I know people move in and move. I have people move in and
Yeah.
move. We've all had that. Good programs attract
Mm-hmm.
that, but the core of your program are Tuttle kids.
Yeah.
You're a Tuttle kid that was super successful. How do you guys? Where's the continuance in that? Where is the repetition? How in the do you guys?
Yeah,
Year to year out,
yeah.
keep doing this.
You know, we're really well organized when it comes down to, you know, the plan of what we're going to do for the season. You know, I can go back and look all the way back to 2006 to the day of what they covered, what we've done. You know, we kind of keep it all journaled. There's
Is it
always a plan.
repetitious? Is it kind of a Tuttle way?
You know, that's
Do
kind
you
of always
run
question.
practice like Coach Serber? Did Coach Serber
I'm
run
not
practice?
Serb, so
Okay, all right.
yeah, there's some things that we of course still do. There's like some basic fundamentals that you know are the foundation of you know how we structure things. You know, I do things a little bit different than Serber because there's only one Serber, and so
That's right.
you know I'm gonna have my own style on some things, and I do.
Practice is an art form.
Yeah, yeah, and so you know, and Serb comes into most of the time just to bug kids and hang out, and because he's not on the whistle.
Does he does he ever put the shoes on? And
He
help?
you know he helps out here lately mostly with our girls program, and so it's been good.
That's a new element.
You know, he comes in with the boys just to joke with the guys. You know, last year was the last group of kids that would have been around Serber, that's 7th graders. And even by then, Serber was assistant principal, and so I was in the junior high room with a lot of those guys. And so now, you know, we're to the point where, you know, Serber hasn't coached any of these kids that we have now today. So, but he's been around them. You know, he's a principal.
Yeah.
And so, but no, it's nice to have all that stuff. You know, I've always looked back at practice plans when trying to plan out the weeks, and you know, when we're gonna
It really
be
helps to have
peaking
that.
and up and down. Yeah,
It really
yeah.
helps to have that.
Yeah, every day.
Wrote down
Yeah.
for you to, just as a guy, maybe it's not something that you're going to follow verbatim,
Yeah.
but for you to look, where were we at?
Yeah,
at
when
this point?
yeah, and you document stuff. So we, you know, like, hey man, we didn't wrestle good, so we got to do something different on that. And so, you know, where did I go wrong maybe, or did we go too hard, or do we not go hard enough? You know, how was our lifts? You know, because we're still lifting right now, and
When you guys do that?
we
Before
lift on
practice?
Sunday, and then we come in on Wednesdays, and of course we have, you know, all kinds of stuff in the room that we can do, like rope climbs, all of our bag work, and you know, there's tons of stuff we always throw.
Did you guys build a new gym?
Yeah, the Great Canyon Activity Center, and so it was.
I think I went to the old one, and your wrestling room is, you got a new wrestling room?
Yeah, 2016.
We'll try
or
to get
17.
some clips
Yeah.
and show you guys his room because that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a 3-mat room. It's
3
nice.
mats. Man, what people don't understand is how nice facilities are. And everybody, junior high, elementary, everybody trains in that facility.
We have 2 rooms, and so we still have our old high school room, which was the middle school room now.
Really
It's still
nice.
a nice room.
Really nice.
So that's where the junior high practices in the morning. At one time, we had our young guys, like a little league, like 5 and unders over there, I believe, and then the older kids were practicing at the high school in the evening.
Who's doing your elementary?
Jody Marple.
Really?
Yeah, we have Jody Marple. Man, I'm going to tell you the staff here, and they have a better staff than most. We have Jody Marple, you have Jake Rochel, BJ Jackson.
Jake Rochel.
Yep. Man, I'm going to miss somebody here.
They got kids in this?
Yeah. And so they got a phenomenal staff down there. They do a great job. Of course, Jody's the one kind of leading the way on that. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I really don't have to worry about too much with it. Like,
Do you show up at all?
I do. My daughter did a little bit this year.
She did?
Yep. And so it's more playing around.
Is that something you're going to? Because that's a new element.
Yeah.
Right when I was I tell you, I went on a tour with the women's wrestling coach and the athletic director, and I knew I was done. I knew that it was over, so
Yeah.
I was kind of arrogant and cocky, talking about facilities and such. And I'm gonna tell you, these little girls wrestling girls, it's about the most entertaining thing.
Yeah.
And
It's growing, man.
it's the fastest growing
yeah.
sport in America.
Was it the 91st Division I sport added just recently? So it's it's a lot of fun to watch these girls out there. It's only getting better, technically wise. You go out there, like there's some girls that can freaking scrap, dude. Like
You watch the high level women, and not amazing, but they're there.
Yeah.
They're there. Their technique, their grind, their toughness, they're there. They're coming off the mat looking like, and it's just another platform for girls to be able to perform. I have 3 girls, and the closest thing we ever got, I love soccer. I love that
we're going down that road this year.
You had to be in shape. You have to be tough. You have to be. It's a physical.
Yeah.
It's a physical go. And so if we kind of rewind back, and my girls were growing up now, would any of them wrestle? Maybe Livy. And that's important.
Yeah.
I can't believe your elementary staff and. Who was the elementary staff when you're growing up? It's always been a group of dads.
Yeah, it was.
All those guys live in Tuttle, Oklahoma?
Yeah, no. I think Jake lives in El Reno. And so he's really good friends with BJ Jackson and Jody.
Okay.
And so, I think,
Now, which row show does that?
Jake.
Is
the
that
one that won 3?
Oh, that's Jake.
Yeah.
There was 3 Rochelle brothers, too.
Yeah.
That moved in for Todd. When I first started coaching
Yeah.
at Sepulpa,
Yep.
it wasn't fun. I mean, it wasn't fun. And those guys, I don't think Jake ever wrestled for Ponca, but the 2 younger ones
Yeah.
did, and they were both studs.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Blake's the one that was my age in 2009.
Was he the heavyweight, tall?
Yes, I believe so.
And then the middle one, I think, had some kind of an accident. He was tough.
Yeah.
He was maybe
Yep.
the best one of them all.
Yep.
Had some kind of accident, went to OSU, but never really got to be
Yeah.
on the mat. And you've got those guys in your elementary room. And that's a bonus, coach.
Yeah.
That's something that you ought to smile about every time you talk about.
No, it's fun.
Because we talked about teaching kids how to wrestle correctly. Jody, Rochelle, Jack, that they're going to teach them how to wrestle correctly.
sure.
There's not going to be trash.
Yeah.
What do you feel about it? You guys going to win your 17th and 16th?
Yeah.
Who's your competition?
Right now, you have Cassia Hall, who has their 5, 6 kids that are in all go.
Yeah, but I've been watching Cassia Hall of late, and man, they're at UConn right now, and something's happened to those 5 or 6 kids.
I don't know. Like I said, we didn't. The unfortunate part is that Cushing tournament got canceled due to the weather, and that was that's always a tournament that you can look at and kind of
You guys were
look at the
going.
landscape. And we always go to Gary, And so we're not
same with
there,
that.
but you can go on, look at the results from
Right.
it, and you kind of see these other teams and where they're at, because there's a lot of 4A teams that go up there.
Right.
And so there's, Cassia Hall, Catoosa, Salisaw.
Salisaw's tough, yeah.
Salisaw is a good group.
Mark's doing a good job.
Sulphur has some dudes that can go right now.
Sulphur, where is Sulphur?
Sulphur is south of us, so it's about an hour and 20 minutes south. Not quite to Ardmore.
So it's on 35.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, straight
All right.
south.
Somebody's doing a good job there.
It's Webb. And so
It's amazing. And I always find that interesting how, like Elgin, for instance,
Yep.
has had a pretty good run of late. And
no, Cody does a good job.
where the Duncan? Who was the coach there?
Cody Rowell.
From Duncan.
Yeah. Was he? Yes.
Yeah. So, Cody Rouse, the head coach at Elgin.
And brother Casey is at Comanche.
Really? So Comanche's right there by Duncan.
there,
Comanche's tough. You young coaches coming into the field, and you guys are just continuing what you've been taught, and it's always fun. Now, we've never got to have a conversation,
Yeah.
and I'm glad. This is what this is all about,
Yeah.
is reaching out to old coaches, young coaches. I'm going to have here pretty soon my 81-year-old dad. I don't know if you've seen him down there yet,
No.
but he's still on staff here.
Nice.
And coaching with Rod and his group, and it's something once it gets in your blood.
It's hard to get away from it, man.
But when you get away from it, the one thing that I've missed, and it'd be interesting if Cerber misses the actual wrestling room part of it, because it is a grind.
Yeah. He said this is the first year where, he didn't have to go to Christmas practices. He didn't have to plan anything. He's like, it was kind of nice. So
he was just out of school.
yeah, he was hanging out. Chris, he'd come up and he worked out with Maddie a couple of times. Maddie's was training still because they go to the indoor track season. And so he comes up and works out with her. And I think Luke and him wrestled a couple of times over break. He said it wasn't just wrestling, it was more surviving.
Yeah,
Luke's gotten too big.
I was going to say. Now I know Matt's a tough guy, but that kid is
Yeah.
his size, and he just he's a man. He's a man now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not a little
for sure.
boy.
For sure.
And I'm sure he took it pretty easy on his old man.
Hopefully.
Well, hey, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck
So
this year.
thanks for having me on this.
Paying attention. I've always paid attention, but I told Cerber back in the day. I said, I get sick of you guys. I said, you guys come back on Saturday morning. You guys have a 75-point lead.
Yeah.
And I said, you don't have to worry about the grind, the consolation
You're
grind.
still worried, man. Like, we have some guys on the backside and things like that. We've been lucky enough to put ourselves in a good spot throughout the semis, and we've had it locked for a couple of years now after that first Friday night. And
Have you won every year since you've been the head coach?
yeah. I inherited a good group of kids, and then
You
I've
can
been around.
inherit, Coach. You can inherit all you want, but there's something called dropping the ball.
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared, you can drop a ball, and that's what's fascinating is that you've not missed a step.
It's been good. Especially. It's my hometown, man. So there's a lot of care that goes into this, and a lot of emotion. A lot of pride on Tuttle wrestling, and so.
How many football players do you have?
Right now, quite a few. I think we had 14 total.
Wow.
And so mostly my bigger guys.
Tuttle,
but-
great football.
Yeah, they had a really good year, man. Really good year.
Always have a great year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always.
Yeah, they consistently make playoffs every year. They've won a couple state titles. Ballard does a great job there with our guys, and they're always competitive. Always.
Does he like the wrestlers?
Yeah, we have a good relationship, and so
Cool. Most football coaches love the wrestlers.
Well, Chris Finn's on staff there.
Oh, is he?
So
He's a football coach also.
Yeah, yep. And so we got a good relationship. He knows whenever his football guys come over to us, they're not just goofing off. Like it's back to work.
That's right.
And so they're staying hooked up. And he comes out to duels when he can. Support us, and comes all kinds of stuff, man. Just like we all have to support each other.
It's
'cause-
special if you've got that.
Yeah.
It's special if you've got that because, it can work against you sometimes too.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Good.
Seen it firsthand.
Good. I don't have to go into detail on that.
Seen it firsthand, man.
Well, Coach, man, I sure appreciate
Yeah.
you being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
thank you. Hey, everybody, this 6th episode, Dynasty Sports. Hey, if you get a chance, watch me and Coach Williams' episode today. Hey, hit like, share, all the social media stuff. Help us get it out there, and see you next time.
Yoakum Companies, your local leader in hauling sand, dirt, gravel, and more. From excavation and dirt work to building pads and delivering topsoil, shale, and aggregate, Yoakum Companies get the job done right. Give Dusty a call at 918-636-0913 or go to his website, www.yoakum.net. Core Homes, building and remodeling quality home across Tulsa and Oklahoma for over 10 years. From the ground up, Core Homes creates sturdy, lasting homes for your family. To see their gallery, visit corehomesok.com.